Hi, everybody. My name is Rob Savet. I'm one of the co-founders of Almas Insight, a company that was formed to collect information about human capabilities and deliver that information in a way that you can use it to make better employee decisions. Today, we're going to be looking at three of the most common uses of the Almas Index. But first, I just wanted to give you a 2-second refresher on what it is and what we're talking about today. So the Almas Index collects data about human capabilities, things like drive and analytical thinking, which the vast majority of employers agree are extremely important. And in fact, 9 out of 10 new hire failures tend to be attributed to a reason of a mismatch in human capabilities. So clearly, it's a massively important item in making the right hires and the right employee placements. The Almas Index is unique because it's been validated by an independent research group, because it removes the inherent biases of the interviewers. It removes the socioeconomic biases towards the people who play the game, candidates and employees. It's easy and engaging. And on top of that, it's really descriptive, can tell you about your workforce down to the individual level, and can help you make predictive decisions about where your business is going and how that candidate might fit in. 2-second look at how it works. And I would really recommend that you take a look at our website. In the front of our website, in the front page, we have several videos that will give you a lot more information about how the game works, what it looks like, how it's played, what the generations of these products are. So please, take a time, if you get a minute, take time to take a look at those videos. But basically, you distribute a link of the game out through an email or any other vehicle that you want. The people play the game. It takes about 45 minutes to play, shorter than an interview. And then you collect that data and you make it available to the organization in the human capabilities dashboard, where you can make decisions about candidates and employees. So today we're going to focus on 3 particular ways that you can use that data and make decisions. First, we're going to take a quick look at culture fit, so that you can see how a candidate might fit in within a job role or within a particular group within an organization. We're going to take a look at culture add. So you're hiring for a group or a job, and you want to make sure that you're adding a little more analytical thinking, for example. And we're going to take a look at attrition analysis, better understanding who might stay with your organization longer, because nothing's more frustrating, burns more time, and costs more money than employees that come in and within 6 to 8 months they leave, and you've lost a lot of time and effort in getting that person in. So with that said, let's go to the demo and take a quick look at how the Almas Index can help you do these 3 things. Let's take a look at the circumstance where you want to find someone that's going to fit within an existing team. So you bring up the human capabilities dashboard, whether you were looking for them to fit into a group like high performance individuals, or a particular team that you have, or a role baseline. For example, a role baseline would be a job function like accounting or research. You would choose the baseline. If you were creating a new one, you would go out and collect the data, but we'll choose an existing one that's already been collected. There you can see a list of 52 names were submitted, and that can be uploaded through a CSV. Invites were sent out, data is collected, you're able to track that the assessment is being completed, and once you've reached a critical mass to have enough data, you can then move over to the talent scan. Once you're in the talent scan, you then immediately have a list of all the available candidates that are there. You can go to the filters and choose these things by locations or by departments or groups, by years of longevity. So you can make this be new candidates, existing candidates that are from a certain area. Once you have your list of candidates in place, you go into the scan, you choose the baseline name that you want, for example, accountants, and then the product automatically goes through and compares the results of their test versus the baseline group, and sorts them in order of high to low, so that you're able to see the individuals who came in high and have a good fit. So if we click on Sierra McFarland, for example, you'll see here's the results of her test. You can see each individual human capability and how she scored: 7, 7, 6. The stars represent what the group target score was. And then over here, you'll see a series of geometric shapes. We create a geometric shape for the job function or team and for the individual, and then we overlap them. In the areas of green are overlap, Blue is where the candidate has more than they need, and red might be areas of deficiencies. And then we highlight down here what the role alignments are and what the misalignments are, so that you can get a really good look at this. And you can email the individual straight from there if you choose to. So all it takes to find a culture fit hire is simply creating a baseline and then doing comparative analysis and then finding the candidates that best match the situation. Let's take a look at the culture add scenario. It's basically the same mechanic as we've seen before. You are able to go in and create a group or a role baseline. Again, we'll take a look at role baselines now, or baselines by job function. And again, we'll choose the accounting group to work with because we have a data set there. You'd invite your accounting candidates, if you didn't already have them, and collect the data that you needed and track and follow their progress to fill out the data set that you need to compare to. You don't have to enter in many names. You can also upload a CSV file with email addresses, and you can manage the reminders and the updates from here. And then once you have your baseline for the job, again, you go back into the talent scan. Again, you go into filters, you choose the candidates you want, whether they're new job applicants or whether they're people from certain locations within your company. And once you have the data set of candidates collected, you simply go into the scan, choose culture add, and now in culture add, you're given all the capabilities that we measure against. And so you're able to now go in culture add and say, okay, these people are good fits for the job, but we want to add some analytical thinking to the job and some more people with some more drive and potentially more awareness, more self-awareness. And again, now everything shifts, and you'll notice these are the representations of the individual capabilities. The people who have higher scores in those particular capabilities that you're interested in adding now come up. If you bring up the candidate, you'll see that those areas are higher, analytical awareness, etc. And so now you're able to get candidates that will come into the team as a good fit, but will also add things to the group's abilities. Let's take a look at the issue of attrition. Attrition is a critical issue for most companies. What we're going to focus on today is trying to avoid that really expensive and time-consuming situation where people stay for 5, 6, 7 months and then leave. And then you've spent all that time training them and trying to get them to work in the organization, and you got to start back over from scratch. So trying to find candidates or eliminate candidates that would be in that category is really a simple thing to do using the Almas index. You go to the human capabilities dashboard. You execute an attrition analysis on the employees in that company. The more employees, the better. There's no doubt about it on this one. The better the data sample, the more effective your answers will be. Then you could do the whole company, which we have up here, or you could choose a department, let's say accounting again. We've been staying with accounting. Now you get the profiles of the individuals that have stayed less than 2 years, 2 to 5, or greater than 5 years. And you're able to say, oh, so the most common trait with people who stay more than 5 years are drive and curiosity. Then you're able to go to your talent scan. Again, you find your lead characteristics, but you immediately go to culture add and you look for drive, just down here, and curious. And now that you've added those to your data set, the probability of your leading candidates staying greater than 5 years goes up significantly. Quick, easy, straightforward, and you get immediate results. So that's how you could do attrition analysis using the product. Of course, there's a lot more depth behind this, but that's a quick and easy look at the way to try to avoid some of those nasty hires that stay for short periods of time.